everyone, it's dolltr, and on today's episode of Push Play, which is a part of my series A Trick a Day, we're going to take a look at setup customizations on Ableton Push, which is this right over here. Now, the way that we're going to get to a couple of the setup controls on Push is on the top right-hand corner. There's a button that's called Setup, so we're going to press on it. And now, on the LED screen of Push, we can see a couple of things. We can see we have workflow options, we have other options for the feel and the look of Push, respectively. So let's take a look at just a couple of these that I have personally found a little bit more useful. What I want to do specifically in this case is set a few of the control settings for the way that the pads react underneath my fingers. I've got some kind of sound over here. It's a combinational pad, brass, piano sort of sound. And I think I'd like to adjust how my fingers are playing the pads. Like, maybe it's a little too sensitive or not sensitive enough. So I can do that by adjusting pad sensitivity as well as pad gain and pad dynamics. And I'm just going to try and play a couple of things to see how each of these feel. I think that's pretty all right for me. Great. Yeah, and you can also see that visually you'll be able to see what the feel is changing like visually with this graph that's on the LED screen of Push. Something else that you can change is the brightness of the display light, and you can also see the brightness of the LEDs themselves. I'm not going to change that too much, and it might be a little hard to see on the camera actually, but I'm just going to leave it right here at my standard 25%. Personally, I found that that's worked really well for me. If I wanted to, I could also change a little bit of the workflow that I'm using when I'm dealing with Push, particularly in session mode. For now, this is note mode. I can hit over to session mode, which mirrors session view in live, and changing the workflow from scene to clip might be something that I want to do, but usually I tend to leave that as scene. Not going to dive too deep into it. I could almost spend an entire other episode on that too. But if I wanted to, I could also see a quick check of my Push serial number and the firmware if I ever need to find that information. And that is how I would do the setup customizations on Push. So now maybe I'll play it a little bit more happily. And that's going to be the trick for today. If you enjoyed this little trick, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and please turn on the notification bell if you do subscribe so that you can be notified of whenever I have a new trick to share with you. Until then, I hope you stay well, and thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. dolltr.